Welcome to the Floor Academy podcast. I'm your host, Kyle Hedin, owner of Illustrious Hardwoods in Mesa, Arizona. Joining me this week and probably coming running back to the computer any second now, who's not currently on screen if you're watching live or the YouTube video, is Jeremy Barker. He is the co-owner of Bathmatic. His wife was actually with us just a few weeks back with some other wonderful ladies, and we were talking about the struggles that they faced at a trade show recently, which is a really great episode of why ladies need respect. But with me is Jeremy this week, and we're going to talk about an attitude of gratitude. This man he oozes gratitude. He makes you want to be happy. Like it's just, you feel it, right? You can watch a video with him and you're like, there's so much passion. There's things coming on. You want to be around him and you want to feel what he's feeling. Where did this come from? I don't know. We're going to find out. I can tell you that he has reasons that he shouldn't be this way. You know, he had an accident. He became the one-hand cut man. That's one of his nicknames these days. And, We're going to dig into it, but essentially, look, we all know those cranky old guys at the back of the workroom, and they're just miserable tradespeople, or just, everyone knows like the cranky old person in general. They just hate life. They didn't turn 75 or 80 years old and just that day they became that salty old person that nobody wants to be around. It was decisions that they made 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. The decisions you're making today influence the person you're going to become down the road. So you can either make decisions that lead you to be a person that has gratitude and appreciates things and is respectful, or you can make decisions to where you hate everyone and everything, and you're miserable and you're grumpy, and then you become the cranky old person that no one wants to be around. In fact, great example. I'll throw my father under the bus. Why not? Man, my grandma, his mom, dude, she was miserable, and she would just, my kids were probably like 8 and 10, and this woman's like 95 plus at the time, and she's sitting there telling them this story of how she just, We're over there visiting. She just starts telling my kids like how she wants to die. And I was like, whoa, Grandma, you can't talk like that. Because she was just so miserable and hated life so much. Like she just wanted it to end, and yet it wouldn't. And it drove my dad nuts. It drove his sisters nuts. Here's my dad, and he's continuing to get older, and things aren't going exactly great for him. But he's turning into the exact person he was complaining about. But it's because he's always just been salty and cranky and whatnot. And I have a lot of the same tendencies, but I'm aware of them now. And I'm trying to not make those decisions to become that person. And if you don't think the decisions you're making today are going to affect you down the road, you're sadly mistaken. And why is this business related? Because the decisions you make today affect your business down the road. The person you are today affects who your business becomes down the road. We have to build the thing we want, which means we need to make good decisions today. So, Floor Academy podcast, why are we here? Well, as I said, we discuss the business side of business and not always the straight numbers and theories and all of that. We get creative with this idea sometimes, and that's where this episode's coming from. And sometimes it's just nice to hear awesome stories from fellow tradespeople about what makes them different, or, just hearing a good story about a person that's being successful. So Floor Academy explores all of these things every week so that you can take the little golden nuggets, implement them into your life, implement them into your business, and start building something that you actually wanted. We all got into business wanting more free time, more time with our family, a little bit more money so that we can buy them the nice things. And then we find out that it's nothing like we imagined, and maybe our bosses weren't so bad. Some of them were. Not all of them, but some of them were. But now you're doing your own thing, and you're like, I gotta own this, and I gotta do it, and it's a struggle. So we're here to help make that easier step by step. And I need your help to get this into other people's ear holes, because the whole industry needs help. And I don't care if you're part of the resilient carpet, hardwood, tile, stone industry. If you're an HVAC guy and you're listening because you can get something out of this, all of construction needs your help, right? You're my marketing plan, because I don't have one. I'll be honest. I mean, I have a marketing plan, but I don't have any money to put behind it. So if you can like the podcast, and then you can click the little share button and you send it out to your group, that would greatly help me, because your reach is bigger than my reach, let alone if on average there's 250 people that listen in the first week. If you all share it and you all get 20 people to listen, well, 250 times 20, that's a lot more numbers, and it's helping a lot more people. So help me help you more. That's how this is going to work. If you do a little something for me, I'll continue producing the content, and then you're going to be able to build a better, more successful business, which you can then go help others build a better, more successful business. That's enough for me. Jeremy Barker, welcome to the show. I love that your wife got you all set up. I saw her. She brought you in a little drink. She gave you a kiss. It was like very sweet. It was awesome. I love to see this like home life rocking and rolling. But, you know, who are you? What do you do? Why do you do it?
Thank you for having me, Kyle. My name's Jeremy Barker. I created and founded Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower 2019, and now I run it with my wife, Jennifer Barker. And we love the tile industry, and we try to be active as we can be. We promote our brand. But one thing about me is I've got a credible journey that's brought me tile, and tile saved my life and gave me a second chance after the other second chances that I got before, and brought me into industry nationwide, which I'm so thankful for. Going to these events and meeting people like Kyle is the reason why I do this. Outside of building the bathrooms, I love to educate and influence everybody else. My positivity, it comes from a long back story and a rough, bumpy country road of trial and error that took me from one part of the construction to the other part of construction, and then I feel like I'm kind of out of construction and an elite squad of tile experts now. So it's an honor. But the main part of me and doing what I do is I am my brand. I created my brand in a hotel room. It was a pipe dream. Everybody laughed at me. They said, nobody's going to pay you to build these kind of things. There's no way. You've lost your way. And here I am today doing it and doing it big. And we love everything about it. And when I show my gratitude and humility to my customers and to my brand, it sets me apart from those grumpy old guys that are in my area that are not outgoing. They're not energetic. They're not getting educated. They don't want to grow. They don't care about getting certified. They don't care about the NTCA. They just want to make money. This is not about money to me. This is for me and my brand, and me and my wife to build something beautiful, but us to also inspire others. I'm big into inspiring others. I want to inspire everyone that I possibly can to be a better contractor, to do it the right way. When I came into this industry, I didn't have no clue that I would have all the support that I have had. And it's helped me to grow through manufacturers and associations, the shows, the trainings. I'm blessed beyond measure. I'm blessed beyond measure. I work in one of the greatest trades in the world, and I'm happy to do it. And I brag about it to my customers. They can go on Google. I just tell them, Google me. Get on that Google and find Bathmatic, and you're going to see what I do. And I'm going to come to your house, and I'm going to show up and show out. That's what we do. And we've got a proven track record at it. So with that being said, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Look, if anybody's got a reason to be grumpy and salty, it's you.
Right.
Look, folks, Jeremy went from being quote unquote whole to quote unquote disabled, and like legally, he's probably disabled. If you're watching the live or you watch the YouTube video, look, he ain't got no left hand.
They wouldn't give me no disability though. They would never help
Okay.
me.
Okay.
I was 23 years old, man, and when this happened, and the judge, he done something for me that no one else has done. When I went in that courtroom, he let me tell my story, and then he went and he made his ruling, and he said, I'm denying these benefits because you have more credentials for an uncollege educated man at 23 years old. You can't tell me that you can't retrain and do something else. You're saying that you're an electrician, a plumber, a mason, and you're telling me you can't go and retrain. So that done something to me that day in that courtroom. And I went to speak, and he said, you say one more word, I will lock you up for 30 days for contempt of court. And I said, but Your Honor. And he said, I mean it. And he ruled that my medical bills be paid and nothing else. And
wow, that judge kicked your
yeah,
ass.
they left me high and dry. Dropped my ass off into the deep end to swim, and that's where I get it from. I didn't have any other choice. But we'll get into that in the story. But
yeah, let's start, right. Let's dig into this. Okay, so what set you up to get into that position? What happened? What's the lead up? What's the big event? And then where do after this ruling and stuff, then we'll dig into the after of it. But let's start. What's the quick history, and then what happened?
Well, long story short, I was always around construction. My father was in the heat and air business. My grandfather, he's a painter and a preacher, and he's a good man. He grew me up right, taught me how to paint, taught me how to be a carpenter, and then my great grandfather was a mason. He was old moonshine. He never worked for nobody. He'd lay 700 brick a day, and he was just a bad man. He never smoked, never drank. He believed in what he believed in. He was all about family and God and country. They throwed him out of the Marine Corps because he couldn't read and write. So he grew my family up. And he was 94 years old, passed away last year. He's my hero. Anybody that knows me, followed me, they'll see I post a lot of stuff about him sometimes. But I grew up watching people work for the man or not be able to be sustainable because of the job. So I always wanted to be involved in construction. 15 years old, I come out, I wanted to have a detailing business. I had me a detailing business. I used to ride around with a water tank and a pressure washer in my truck. And I'd go down to the Carolina Panther Stadium, and I'd wash cars before the football games. And I'd skip school and work. My mom and them, they couldn't keep me in school. I always wanted to work. I was hustling. And then I got my job at golf course and got into landscaping, and I was always rounded around everything. I could do it all. So got drifted off to Charleston, 18 years old, doing high line, power line work for South Carolina Electric and Gas. Went down, met Jennifer, and it's been a whole roll ever since. So I got into the irrigation, drainage, hardscape, managed big 40, 50,000 acre properties down in Charleston. Used to manage cutting the Walmarts, had a bunch of guys that worked under me that was from different parts of the country, Guatemala, Honduras, Brazilian guys. And that's where I kind of got into hardscape and drainage. And I worked for years and years and years doing that. Ended up moving the business back started the landscape construction business in Charleston, and come back in 2010. I was here 3 months back in my hometown in Charlotte, North Carolina, and cut my hand off remodeling my mother's bathroom. She sent my dad on a hunting trip and wanted me to remodel her bathroom. Ended up out there cutting crown molding 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. We ain't going to get into why I was out there at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning doing crown molding, but that's where I was at the time. Had a tragic accident. Jennifer saved my life, kept me from bleeding to death. Unfortunately, they wasn't able to save my hand when I got to the hospital. My first question was, well, what am I going to do for work? So it was a recovery process. I never believed in taking medication. So in all this, wouldn't take the medication. I was 3 weeks out of my third surgery. I went cold turkey on the medicine. Uh, in all this, I'm running a business, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm out there, trying to keep my guys working, trying to keep my projects going, trying to get through what I was doing. I become really bitter, and I developed a bad form of addiction. And I let alcohol and methamphetamine get a hold of the best of me. And let's just say it went on for about 8, 10 years. And I'm 3 years sober, clean um, from active addiction now. And
Congratulations, man.
thank you. And through all of that, I struggled, lost that business, got into handyman, electrical, carpentry, remodeling business. I was doing commercial remodels, and then kind of got introduced to the flooring industry, and I was in the commercial restaurant business, uh, taking care of a national chain of restaurants of all their kitchen floors and all their drain work because I am a drainage specialist, and that's what led me to building showers. I not only just specialize in tile, I make water go anywhere. I've pulled a lot of mud. I've packed mud, pulled mud, whatever you want to call it. We used to work these kitchen floors, and we would work on the road anywhere between 7 and 18 days. And sometimes I would never even take the bed. I would, you know, let the guys sleep in the bed. I would sit in the corner, and I'd work all night, party all day, work all night, party all day, and I'd be on the road. It created something for me and Jennifer that is just detrimental. And
Mm-hmm.
we struggled through many hardships in our marriage with me and my addiction and me working on the road in the flooring business. But I would run a rack and we would do, 6 to 800 square foot a night, me and two guys. We would pack a kitchen floor out and reset all the drains. We'd go in there and do a whole kitchen in 3 days. We would demo everything out and all the way to the finishing. Epoxy grout was really a big part of our culture. So when we got into to these restaurants and stuff, there wasn't no stopping. So it was a lifestyle, and it wore me out. And
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting in that motel room one day, and I decided I'm going home. I'm gonna get clean and sober. I'm going to start me a business, Bathmatic, custom tile and shower, and I'm gonna build custom bathrooms. And that's what's got me here today. But after I got clean and sober, everybody said, Jeremy, you've got the best energy uh, that shows who you are. And when we meet you, we know you're passionate about your work. So from that day on, I made it my mission to every day when I represent my business or my company to my customers or anybody, even the folks in the industry, I want to be a shining light because I don't want to be that grumpy old man. I'm happy to be here, and I want to inspire others. And there's guys that are 18, 19, 20, 21 years old that's coming in this business, and they need to be able to look at these guys and say, well, man, if that guy can do it with one hand and keep a good attitude and do good work like that, I can do it. He's a recovering drug addict. At one point in time, he didn't even have a clue of what he was going to do. If he could make it happen, he could make it happen. And I want to show people, and I'm
Hell yeah.
sincere about that. So, like, I'm super proud to be here. The last 3.5 years, me working with Jennifer. Well, I cut kind of in my story. I made a decision when I got sober. I wasn't going to hire anyone else to work with. If you drank or done dope, I wasn't going to go anywhere with you. And I told my wife, I said, if you want this business to work, you got to come to work with me. I said, because I'm not going to be around just anybody and everybody. And unfortunately, here in the South where I'm at, if you don't drink or do drugs, you probably ain't in the construction business. And, if you don't drive an old truck, you probably ain't in the construction business. You know, if you ain't been divorced or through addiction or lost a wife, a house, had a foreclosure, filed for bankruptcy, you probably ain't no good at construction. You know what I mean? The guys around here.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it is. So I'm a man of hardships, and I believe in second, third chances. But Kyle saved my life. Give me a second chance. I get to do it every day with my wife. It's super fun for me. I wake up. My biggest thing in the morning is waiting on her to get ready. You got to imagine your helper being your wife, but you can't get on to them and rush them in the morning because it will ruin your whole work day. So you have to be kind of patient in the morning. And she's going to kill me for saying this, but she's a pretty woman, but she's in construction and she likes to be nice when she leaves the house. So I have to give her that time. That's my biggest downfall. So that's in the morning. I take that time to reflect when I'm sitting here in my recliner waiting on her to come out the door, and she's got the kids to handle, the cat, the dog, whatever. She's doing her chores. I'm here. I'm ready. I've done planned my day for the business. And I take that time to thank the Lord for putting me in this position to do what I'm doing. Because how many people are fortunate enough to be able to work with their spouse and have a life doing something that we really love? And our kids love it. They respect it. I've got all the support in the world from my family, from the industry. I've got so much to be grateful for. I'm so optimistic about everything because things work when you do them right. And you do right by people, things fall into place. So I had an opportunity this past week to go work at a project for a Vietnam War veteran,
Mm-hmm.
naval officer in the Vietnam War era. And unfortunate situation happened where he lost his first part of his ADA compliant VA loan to a contractor that come in and tore his bathroom up and took the first part of the deposit.
It's horrible.
My buddy, he builds decks and fences, does some remodeling work. He called, reached out to me and said, I see you build bathrooms. I might need some tips and tricks, and you might need to help me, give me some advice on how I can put this bathroom back together. I said, no, buddy. I'll be up there Thursday and Friday. I'm going to help you put that bathroom back together, and we're going to do this together. And we had, and the way I look at it, I was blessed with the opportunity to go serve
Mm-hmm.
him. I wasn't able to serve my country at a young age, and I wanted that opportunity. So I feel like that I was blessed with the opportunity to serve someone that once served for us. And I love all about it, but it put so much in my heart. I didn't have a project. I had a big bathroom postponed on me, pushed me out 3 weeks when I came back from vacation. Okay. I'm down there on vacation. I'm spending thousands of dollars. I'm thinking I'm coming back. I'm going to do this big bathroom remodel, right? They postponed, pretty much canceled on me for several weeks. And I was like, well, if I can't make no money, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to go work this charity project. We're going to run up some credit cards. We're going to help a man in need. And I think I got some tile, and I got to talking to my suppliers,
Mm-hmm.
Sika, Stephen Cooper. I reached out to him first, and he had my back and hooked us up with all the thin set and all the grout for the job. I had some tile in stock. I got a hold of another contractor locally down the road, Mullis Home Construction, and my good buddy Jamie Mullis, and I said, man, I need a vanity, 36-inch vanity. He's like, dude, just call me when you get a Lowe's, I'll pay for it. So I had all these
Nice.
donations,
Mm-hmm.
coming in effect, and it like the more and more I dug into it, and then like another one of my customers sent me $100. He's like, this is for lunch, to buy a lunch for everybody while you're doing the project. I started getting so deep into it. I was like, this is what it's all about. It's not all about making money on it. Jeremy, you made a bad situation into a good one because
Mm-hmm.
a week and a half ago, when I don't have any work, I start to stress. I start to work,
Yep. Yep.
and my kids, they see it on my face. my youngest son, he'll come to me, "Oh, Dad, let's do this. Get your mind off that Bathmatic. Get your mind off that Bathmatic. Come on in here. Let's build some Legos, you know." And they
That's
even
cute.
see it. Jennifer, she won't say nothing about it, but I'm heavy on myself, and when I have opportunity to do something to turn that around, that's everything for me. So that's what that was. And when I got to digging into the process, and after the second day there, and I seen, the reaction of him and his family being so thankful and grateful for us putting the bathroom back together. We're up there doing our thing. I'm got a young 21-year-old boy that's a hell of a damn carpenter, and he works for my buddy. And they do this stuff. They build a lot of ramps for veterans and handicapped people all the time. And he was so interested in tile. I took it at that moment. I realized, I was like, "Look, man, you've impacted this guy's life. You've impacted. He's been watching your videos on
Hmm.
social media. He sees how positive you are. Now he's getting to work with you side by side. You've got to show him the right way." So I took the time, like the past few days, to kind of mentor that young man and get him wrapped up. I got him into the Future of Trades group, told him about the Floor Academy podcast, working and stuff, and all
Thank you.
these great groups that he could watch. And then he got it, found some deck building groups, and he wants to get into tile. I want to support everybody that wants to get into the business, and to be a better contractor, but to be nice about doing it, because there's a lot of people in the industry that are not so nice. But
Correct.
there's so many good people. There's so many.
There are. Well, look, this story could have taken a whole different turn. I think we gotta go back a minute here. That judge kicked your ass, man. I ain't even gonna lie. Like he
He
really
did.
he gave it to you, and he put a challenge in front of you. He noticed that there was a resilient, smart young man in front of him, and said, "Nah, man. Like you're on your own. You got to figure this out. Like you've learned too many things. There's no reason that you can't learn some more things." But it's just, you could have taken that any number of ways. There's a lot of people that would have just said, "Oh, I'm done. I give up. I
Give me a
quit.
check.
I hate it." And like, let's just roll on with life, and I'm going to sit here and be miserable because I don't have a hand anymore. Dude, you make
Right,
jokes about it. You have fun with
right.
it. You are out here inspiring others. You're giving time back when you don't even know where, your project got canceled, delayed, whatever it was, right? Like, and you're out here running up credit cards of your own to go do charity work.
It was
It,
fun though.
well, look, not only was it fun, but look, when you give back, you get back, and that's, if you do it from a place of real intention to give back. Like, if you go give back just expecting something in return, you're not doing it for the right motives. Like, you did this to go do it because it was the right thing to do for this gentleman.
Right,
And
right.
I'm sure you will be more than taken care of, blessed, whatever you wanna look at it. And it's not going to be a worry. You've taught your children to, they're aware of what's going on with you, and they're telling you, like, "Hey, Dad, come on, like, relax, come have fun." This isn't a normal household. I'm not going to lie. Like, you're not living in a normal household. I don't know that most kids are that. Well, actually, I take that back. I think most kids are aware that something's up with their parents, but they won't say something.
Right.
There's not a good enough relationship there for the kid to come and be like, "Oh, come on, like, take a minute, Dad. Like, you gotta stop. You gotta relax. You gotta come have fun. You gotta be playful." And
Well, they've
you're
seen it.
listening to them.
They've been here. They've experienced the worst parts of this. They've seen me through a lot of hardships, and when me and Jennifer wouldn't get along, and I would be really bad, in my spots, I would stay away from home, so I didn't have to show them that part of our life. I didn't want to be actively involved at home with
Hmm.
my shit. So I would just keep me a motel room on the other end of town. And they spent plenty of nights listening to their mother cry and tell me to come home, come home, come home, come home. And I just wouldn't do it, you know. because I was that focused on keeping it away from my kids, because at that time I knew I was going through something. I had to deal with my demons in my own self.
Mm-hmm.
I had to control my outlook. And that's what's so important about people's perspective. I tell people all the time, it's all about your perspective. You know, even on my worst days, I'm going to find something to be grateful for. I'm going to be thankful, um, because I've got the chance to do something that somebody else haven't got. There might be, I've met when I was up there at the project. I should have had my little frog in here, but I met a autistic grandson of the guy that we was doing the work for,
Mm-hmm.
and he is one of the best laser 3D printing guys I've ever seen. But he makes these frogs where the legs move on them and everything, and they're done in layers. He's making me a bathtub business card holder right now. I'm going to ship it to me. But just to meet him and his opportunity, and people that are less fortunate. My buddy that we was doing the project with, he has a son that has a terminal illness, and he is nonverbal. He's 5 years old, and it made me think about how hard it is, how hard I am on my boys, and what I expect out of them and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And got me thinking how fortunate and how grateful I should be to have a son that will argue with me. I mean, because these little jokers, they'll argue with me. They've grown up. They've got a different relationship with me than most father and son. They'll ask you,
Mm-hmm.
Dad, you really gonna do this? Are you lost your mind again? They're involved. They watch, but I love my boys and I love my wife, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have made it out of the other side. I was supposed to be dead or in prison. Some of the things that I was involved in and doing along the way really really messed me up, and I couldn't go. Let's just say I couldn't go work at no airport or no place,
I
like that. I'm not.
no.
I can't. I've lost those rights. So I've got to make the best out of Bathmatic.
Mm-hmm.
Bathmatic got to sell, and I built the business. I built the business around building bathrooms and developing a software later on down the road to do bathroom design work, and you buy a 3D virtual reality tour of your bathroom,
Okay.
with a one pay cost. That didn't work out. So now it was wrapped up to link other contractors nationwide with good, reputable bath contractors. So I'm kind of fulfilling my dream, meeting everybody in the industry,
Mm-hmm.
going to build the website, release it here in the next year or so, and connect local homeowners with good, reputable contractors is my ultimate goal for Bathmatic. For when I get too old to crawl on my knees and do anything, maybe I can still contribute. But like Kyle said earlier, I want to inspire all the young guys coming into the industry, and even the older guys. I want
Mm-hmm.
to inspire you too. You don't have to live like that. There's a lot of old grumpy guys out there that's miserable, and all I can say is you're working in the glory days.
Well,
Your day is only as good as you make.
that I believe. Let's leave it right there, because that's the road I want to start going down. I got to interrupt us for just 1 minute.
Sure.
We got a quick word from Johns Manville. If you're looking for the perfect waterproofing solution for your tile installation, look no further than Johns Manville Go Board. It's time to say goodbye to worries of moisture damage and hello to durable, easy to install tile backer. Go Board is engineered to withstand tough environments, providing excellent waterproofing protection. Whether it's your bathroom, kitchen, or any other wet area, Go Board has got you covered. Don't compromise on quality. Choose JM Go Board for the ultimate waterproofing peace of mind. Visit their retailers and ask for Go Board. Don't just visit the retailers already in. Go ask your retailer that doesn't carry Go Board, and ask them to bring it in, so that more retailers can have Go Board, because that helps everyone out. All right, Jeremy, this attitude, again, it was something that you've had all these what society would definitely call like negative experiences that built you up, that should have pushed you down one road. And here in a hotel room one night, you decided, nope, screw it. I'm done. I'm not going to do the drugs anymore. I'm not going to drink anymore. I'm going to build this brand. I'm going to do this thing, and I'm going to love life. And was it really just deciding to like make that switch of like, I'm just going to love life and I'm going to appreciate every little thing that I get? Was it that easy?
Oh, not exactly, because at that point I struggled probably another 7-8 months, and went through the last incarceration. And when I come home, I had to make that decision where I was going to take Jennifer to work and we were going to do this. And for me, when I beat all the cases, got the ankle monitor off, got off of probation, got all that over with in my business. I was building these bathrooms with an ankle monitor on when I first started out. Like if you look back all the way back to the early 2020, that era was so rough. Like it was impeccable. When I was going to meetings, I was going to, the church. I was going, back to all my family and telling them, look, I redeemed myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to turn over a new leaf. This is what I'm doing. Everybody's still doubting the business at that point in time. And I just kept on rocking it. And like the gratitude and like the light, I see my own light. Like some days when I skip up out of here, I get my stuff on, put my shoes on, crank my truck, pull out of here. I might jump on a live and talk to people about something. I might call a friend. I might call my grandfather and chat with him for a minute. But I appreciate the sunshine. I appreciate my freedom. I appreciate the ability to do it as I'm pulling into this great customer's house, pulling up in their driveway, and they're like, "What's up, Jeremy? How you doing this morning?" And they're happy to see me. My wife's with me. We stop and eat breakfast. We go in Lowe's or we stop by our suppliers. I'll bust into the best tile, and those guys are like, "Man, what's this guy on? He's just, he's in here skipping and whistling." And, I'm happy to be there because where I could be is not near as where I'm at. And I'm making good money. I'm working with my wife. I have the freedom. We're loving it. We always go to lunch. I wait till she's got a mouthful of food. I take a selfie. I post it on Facebook. Everybody gets to see the venture. I tell all my manufacturers, all my sponsors, you all know who you are, that I promise, and to the NTCA, when I'm laying tile or doing something, I'm posting my work because I love constructive criticism. And I've learned from a lot of people in this industry and watching these videos. I've been watching this podcast for a long time. I don't even know how I come across it, but before I got to watching this, and then when I met Kyle at Coverings, I'm like, "Hey, man, you're that guy from the internet. I've seen you before. I watch your stuff, man. We got to inspire these other young kids to do the right thing and help other people. And if you're going to help people, to be the good guy, I don't play in tile drama. I don't do none of that. I stay, civil with the people on these groups. I don't handle disrespect real good. I had some guys degrading women on a post last week about the mud event. I will go ahead and clear the air for somebody liable to seen it and seen how I jumped on him. And that's just my nature. I want the women in the trade to feel comfortable. I want the young guys in the trade to feel comfortable and not afraid to ask questions. Go with whatever manufacturer system you want to go to. I can install them all.
Man, they all work. They would be making it if they didn't work. I love all of this, man. It's you've chosen to look at positives instead of negatives, and if life hands you a lemon, you're like, I'm gonna make me some lemonade, right? You're not trying to find.
I make chicken shit to chicken salad. all
But
day long, every day.
we need more of you. We really do. We need more Jeremys in this industry because there's. Why are we getting frustrated? Great, they're out of the grout. Order it. Go to a different supplier that carries it. Like, what's worth getting butthurt about? The homeowner's complaining again. Great, it's their house. They're allowed to be pissed off, right? Like, what created the situation? Just find the solution to the problem and move on. And then what? You're mad because you got to get up early?
In another person's situation, you could be working it as a line cook. You could be that guy out there flagging traffic on the side of the road in the hot sun. You could be the guy driving a truck or a school bus. You could be a factory worker. But you're out here working in this awesome industry. What is there not to be grateful about? I'm a tile celebrity, man. I got the best job in the world.
Well, and there's...
I love it. I couldn't make it in the film industry, Kyle.
Well, look, we're made to serve people. And people, I think, get lost in that, right? Like you think, oh, well, servers serve people, right? No, we are made to serve people. That's what we do. And through construction, whether you're whatever part of the flooring industry, or if you're a bath guy or whatever, you serve people. You're selling a service to them to do something in their home. Go serve them as best as possible, even if they are cranky and miserable. Go show them how much joy you have doing what you do, that they have to like you. That's it. I haven't always been able to do it. I've been miserable on projects. That's my choice. But again, these are the choices we make, and I think that's the point. Like Jeremy's over here making the decision to say, you know what? I'm going to find the good in this instead of taking the negative, and then you take the next negative and the next negative, and they're all compounding together and becoming bigger and bigger, and soon you have this gigantic snowball. And he's over here and he's taking the little minuscule grains of sand of goodness, and he's like, I'm going to take that one and that one and that one and that one, and all of his grains of sand are adding up a lot faster than your like compounding giant stones of crappiness. It's inspiring. And I believe it's amazing
universe,
to watch.
And when you get your alignment with the universe, and you allow negativity to come in, like if you have a flat tire on the way to work, and you leave your phone at home at the same time, and you got to walk back to use the phone so you can get a tire. I mean, I would laugh at myself. Instead of me being pissed off and cussing myself, I would laugh at myself and say, boy, you done it today. Wait till I tell everybody about this shit. I cannot even believe I left my phone and I got a tire flat. What else you going to mess up today? You know, but I think it's funny. Like a lot of people, they see when I get frustrated, I laugh at myself and I'll be like, are y'all serious? Y'all see what just happened? I got to go to my truck. I'm going to take a smoke break. And I'll laugh about it. And they're like, did he just cut that short for the second time and laugh about it and go outside and he's going to have a smoke now, is what he said? You know, but if you let all those negative things impact your center line, you will develop a crooked line. You will be so unhappy and interfered that you can't focus on the good thing. So that's why I shake it off. Somebody told me, old cowboy buddy of mine told me back in the day, he said, one arm, you get so bent out of shape about everything. He said, there ain't nobody big enough to eat you. He said, you ain't got nothing to worry about. And that set with me a long way. And, you know, no matter what your trouble is, somebody's got it worse. Somebody's got it worse. So put all that to the side, think about what you're doing, and be the light. You know what I mean? I just want to be the light, and be resilient amongst anything. I don't let nothing conquer me. If I can't figure it out, then it can't be figured out.
Man, I love
that. If I can't fix it, it can't be fixed. So, you know, it's all about the outlook, folks.
There's you talking about having a tire blowout reminds me of a day I had, and that this is exactly it. So Wasn't paying attention. I was looking at my phone as I was driving down the road, and all of a sudden I look up and there's a giant tire sitting in the middle of the road. And so I kind of am able to swerve out of the way, but I'm pulling my trailer, so I can't swerve too hard. And so I miss it with my truck, but the trailer hits it. So that it bent the axle, popped the tire. So I was able to get a spare on, but that didn't work out very well because the axle's bent. So then that thing was dragging and all messed up, and it popped that tire. And I'm at this lady's house, and I get there late, and then I have to start, and she called me to do a repair on a laminate floor because she had like spilled a bunch of water in her kitchen. And I go to start repairing it. Turns out it's glued down. Well, glued down laminate doesn't come out very easy because it's all MDF it's HDF, but so I'm trying to take that out, and that's going just to hell in a handbasket very quickly. And I'm sweating up a storm. She's got to think I look like just this, like, I'm detoxing from something. And the chipping hammer breaks. So now and this town is 45 minutes south of me. But the closest place to get the tool I need is all the way 45 minutes back. The tool store is 5 minutes down the road. So the chipping hammer breaks. Well, it's not, the demo hammer breaks. I got to drive all the way back up, buy the demo hammer, drive all the way back down. I get it all set up and ready to go, I think, and then I had to go back and finish some stuff. I worked for like the whole day. Like I put in my 8 hours, even driving back and forth and all that. Get it close. I got to go back the next day. I'm surprised she even let me in her house because she's just eyeballing me and mean mugging me the whole day, like wondering if something's off with me. I had to get the trailer home that night. That was a whole nother mess. And then I get back there the next day, put in like another half a day, get it ready. And I'm like, all right, where's the laminate? She's like, oh, it's in my garage. I was like, oh shit, really? Go to put the laminate in the holes that I finally got like perfectly cleaned out because this stuff was glued down and miserable to work with. And it's all shrunk from sitting in the garage. So it doesn't even fit. Oh, and she's like, well, I can't have this tripping hazard here. I was like, well, we can put a rug over it. She's like, no, I can't have that. I was like, all right, look, we're going to put tape on it so I can get all these things back out as they expand. But we'll leave them here. And then when they expand enough, like call me back and let me know. I didn't hear from her for like 6 months. So I was like, all right, let me call this lady. And I was like, I know why I didn't hear from her because I looked like a freaking crackhead. And I had a really bad day and a bad attitude and I let everything get to me. Call her back and she's like, oh, I had someone else finish it. Oh, dude, I was so mad because I did so much work to get it ready. And she was like, oh, they fit perfectly once they sat there for a couple months. I was like, she's like, what do I owe you? I was like, nothing. I'm glad it's fixed. Like, just enjoy it, right? Like, I think the only way to get out of that situation is for me to give like some charity at that point. But I was livid and I was just like, nah, like, I didn't even want to deal with it. I was like, I don't want anything from you. I was like, it's cool. Like, I don't want any money. But that's the perfect example, right? I let one negative thing get to me, and then all of these other things came. I had an apprentice at the time. I lost so much money on that project. Oh my Lord. It's probably the only project I've ever actually lost money on. And I didn't lose it because I like the tool, the demo hammer I'm able to use later. The trailer's still making me money, right? All this stuff. But technically that project lost money.
Right. But you just couldn't make the best of the situation.
No, there was not time. Everything, every step was like just
nobody wanted to talk to Kyle that day.
No, it was bad. But could I have could I have taken a different attitude about it and explained myself differently and won this lady over and let her know, what was going, like I had a shitty attitude and it probably was very off-putting to her. I don't blame her for not having me back. That's the difference
that you could have made. You could have said, hey, look here, I'm having some shit go on today. You don't even want to know about my day. You're going to have to bear with me because I've derailed my train and I'm trying to get it back on the track. And I just I'm flat out with people. Like if I'm having a bad day or something goes wrong, like a couple of years ago, I drilled a hole. We were doing doing a deco wall with some shiplap, and I shot a hole through the wall with my nail gun and hit a water pipe. And
Yeah.
Jennifer and the customer's in her nightrobe, and Jennifer's in there, and they got towels, and they're trying to hold their bodies up against the sheetrock because the water's coming out of it so fast. And I'm running around trying to cut the water off and stuff like that. And this is another time I just laugh. You know what I mean? I laughed, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
look here, we got to stop all this other stuff. Don't worry about the project I come here for, because I got to put your house back together now. We got to take up this carpet. We got to pull this up, blah, blah, blah. But and I told him, I was like, look here. Oh, that was back years ago when I was having my legal trouble. I was like, I was late to court this morning. They threatened to lock my ass up. I'm having a bad day. Jennifer's in a bad mood, so I got this going on. But I'm just real close, and I have to be personal with my customer.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I look crazy a lot of times. You know what I mean? People think I'm crazy anyway, off the bat, and then they go to hearing more of my story and stuff. And they're like, yeah, he's just as crazy as anybody. He's just happy to be out here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but if you can impact your own attitude, you can impact other people's attitude. And I believe that. You know. So when you show up to a customer's house and you show them that you're unmotivated and unenthusiastic about the project, why would they not doubt your abilities, you know, to deliver them a custom project? Because I'm in there to pleasing people. I'm in the business of like these $25, $35, $40,000 bathrooms, and they're investing, you know, a lot of money. And when I'm sitting there selling this and selling that, well, I'm a brand ambassador for Illumination. We like to light our niches. I feature this in my showers. I feature that in my showers. We can give you this option, that option. They're like, man, you really love this stuff, don't you? You're into this stuff. And then they see my pictures at shows, and I want to take pictures of these guys and that guy, you know. I'm like, you look, he's got a bunch of followers. Like, you know, when me and Misha get together online, you know, he's one of the people that I love following, you know, back when I was learning. Jason McDaniels, you know, even Talbro, you know, Kurt and Highlander, you know, Andrew, they've inspired me to like make content. You know what I mean? So like I tell everybody, I'm like, my only goal is to like make a bunch of money, impact the industry, and be cooler than the Talbro. That's what I'm here for. You know,
but again, it's such a good attitude for some, again, for someone that could just be so disgruntled and whatnot. Like you bring this attitude, and you're so thankful for any situation you're presented with. Seriously, you said it earlier, right? Like you're going to turn chicken shit into just
chicken salad.
Chicken salad, yeah. So I can't think, but like you're gonna be dealt the worst hand, and you're gonna turn it into a royal flush and say, you know what, this is fine. We're gonna work with this. We're gonna make it happen. We're gonna get through. And we need more of this.
Yeah, you're here today. You'll never pass this place where we're all standing today. We'll never see this again. Life is like a river. You better hang on, you know. Maybe I'm just real. I give a lot of my my thanks to God, you know, and blessing me with this life and this opportunity. And I've always prayed for wisdom, knowledge, understanding in all things. So with that being said, you know, I've got a lot to be thankful for. We all got a lot to be thankful for. If you're breathing, you got a roof over your head, you got, you know, a lot of simple things. Like I come from nothing, you know, for me to be able to do this, like, you know, it's surreal to me, you know. If you can keep doing it every day, my biggest important message, like, you know, just make your mind up that, like, hey, nobody likes that bad attitude. You know, I tell women all the time, I say, hey, that pretty face don't match that nasty attitude. You know, you got to quit that. You got to be genuine. You know, you got to love what you do. If you don't love what you do, get you another job. That's why I tell people with fast food, I say, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry, you don't like your job, do you? Here, go and take this little bit of money and quit for us. I want to make a video of you walking out that door."
No, you're
You
so
know,
right though. We are privileged. Look, obviously most of the audience is American, but I know that there's people that listen in Australia, New Zealand, the United Kingdom. We're privileged first world countries.
exactly,
And
exactly.
it's so disgusting. And I'm disgusted with myself in what I think makes my life hard and complicated. Even quote unquote poor people, homeless people in America have it better than most of the
Right.
world. The resources they have access to is absurd, right? It's good for them. Like they can, if they choose to do something, they can do something. But the fact that it exists, they're not going to die overnight because they're being exposed to a harsh environment. They have access to shelter, food, water. Like you can go into a fast food restaurant and they have to give you a cup of water. There are
Exactly.
places where you would be denied clean drinkable water, or it would be, you could get water but it wouldn't be healthy for you. And yet here we are getting upset that we bent the axle on our trailer, popped a tire, had a demo hammer go dead, and
Right.
the laminate floor is glued down, and your life sucks, it's over, and you want to die.
Ain't no way.
Who's the dramatic little bitch now? Like,
That's right.
it's me. I'm the
That's right.
problem, right? And so are you.
Toughen up.
When you are out there and you're having these issues with where your business is going and how your life is going, it's your fault.
Right. Fix it. Fix
Make
it. Don't whine about it. Fix it.
make
You
the
know.
decision that'll make it different. I mean, I put out a reel yesterday. Look, I've been trying to get fit. I got sick of being fat. I almost tipped the scale at 250, and I'm struggling to get under 210 now. But I've been
Yeah.
having to get up and like I go on walks every morning, and it was like 4 miles when I started, and then I did 6, and then I was doing 8, and then it was 10, and then I committed to like I'll just do 4 like 7 days a week, because doing 10 every day was absolutely absurd, and I wasn't doing it 7 days a week, and I've kind of pushed it to 6, but like I made this reel yesterday. I don't want to wake up. Let alone
Right.
my son. It was Saturday, and so my son had the swim meet, and we got to be to his swim meet. We got to have him there at 6:45 in the morning. It's
Yeah.
hard to go do an hour and a half walk and get your son somewhere at 6:30. Let alone I got to shower, I got to eat, I got to pack stuff. The
Yeah. You
family's got
said
to get ready.
you said in the post 25 out now. I have 25 minutes to get my son and my family loaded up and get over to the swim meet.
Correct.
Now, whose fault is it? And then, like when I
It's
watched the
me.
post, Kyle, I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, did Kyle realize that he only had 25 minutes, or did his wife call and tell him that he
No,
only
no.
had 25?
I knew. I left the house late. That was my point. Was I knew that I had time to go do a certain amount of walk still. And I set myself up for this situation. But if I didn't go do the walk, I wasn't committed to other things in my life. And so my poor choice of not waking up and doing what I needed to do right away was now going to have an impact on my decisions the rest of the day. And I had to get caught up. That and
Right.
it was about I know what's coming. I'm prepared, right? I'm going to go deal with this. Now, granted, my wife's alarm didn't go off, and then her and I got into it a little bit, and she wasn't ready to go, and we had to leave. And
So you let it impact your life
I did for a
because you laid
minute.
in bed.
Yes, it had other consequences than my wife and I fought, and then I was like driving to get my son there, and I text my wife and I was like, "Look, it's not you, it's me. I was frustrated with the situation. It's
My
fine." And then
fault.
she wasn't feeling. Yeah, I apologized. Like it was 100% me, but it was about, you got to make the decision to go do what you need to do, and then you need to own it no matter what. And it's the same
Right.
thing in this situation. The decisions you make
And
are
show
going to
up.
affect you down the road. So make the right decision to just make it
Right.
easy on yourself.
Show up for your business, show up for your life. If you commit to it and say, I'm going to run at 5:30 in the morning, or I'm going to be on a job at, this, that, and the third. I'm sitting here looking at my clock right now. It's 5:06 where I'm at. I've got a presentation to walk through at 5:30 here, but it's only 5 minutes down the road. You know what I mean? So I'm balancing right now. I'm like, I'm going to show up for this podcast. I'm going to do this with Kyle, and then I'm going to show up and show out at these customers' house, get this damn deposit, and build these folks a shower.
There we go.
What I mean? I've got that. But as long as you're committed to what you're doing, like you was committed to your run the other morning, now you wasn't going to go back and let that affect your son being to his swim meet on time, because you're showing up for your son to be at that swim meet. He's going to be there.
And he's kicked butt all weekend, to be honest.
So. But you owned up that and you made the best of it, and you made a video about it, and it inspired me when I seen it. I'm like, well, he's exactly right. When you said show up for whatever you're doing, if it's your business, if you're committing to something, do it. I laid my ass in bed this morning. I didn't get out of town. Now I've got 25 minutes to get my son in the truck to go to this meeting.
Yep.
Is what I gathered from it. Like, but you realize that, and you're like, this shit won't happen again. Because next time I go to push that snooze button, I'm going to get up, because I'm going to remember this. It's right here. This is not going to happen. Then I hollered at my wife over because I was late. This, that, that. No, that ain't happening again. You're going to grow from that, Kyle.
Correct. It's about.
I appreciate you sharing that experience.
It's about learning from our decisions, folks. It's learning how to move forward. It's about learning that the decision we make today affects our life, whether it's in an hour, a year, 10 years down the road. All of this compounds on itself. So we have to stop and take a moment, reflect, and make the decision. Let alone, I think a lot of people overreact on decisions and think they're bigger than what they are, right? Look, I can always redirect. You might have been making poor decisions for the last 10 years. You can start making good decisions now, and a couple of good decisions add up to become a habit, and now we're re-steering where we want to go, all right? So I just read an example in a book. It was talking about, and I know you got to get out of here now, so we'll get this thing wrapped up. If we launch a rocket into space to go to the moon and it's off by a degree, it doesn't matter on the viewing from Earth. It's going to look perfect. But that degree, by the time it gets to the moon, it's off by like 4,000 miles. If I remember, I read it a couple hours ago, so hopefully I'm right. It's like 4,000 something miles. That 1 degree adds up that much. So the decision you make now to start developing a habit of being more positive in your life is going to have you 4,000 miles off course from where you were in a very short amount of time.
Very true. That's very true. The trajectory that you plan today will show your outcome to when you get to where you're going. And I just want to say to everybody, what I've done this in 3 years. I've done this in 3 years. I wasted many 3 years doing nothing. But I turned everything around, and I built something amazing in the past 3 years, and I'm super proud of it. And, don't wait to start till tomorrow. Start today. Just be thankful. Wake up, be thankful, be grateful, and just honor whatever you're doing and be committed to it. If you say you're going to get up at 5:30 for your business, get up and get out there. Now, I don't get up that early. I tell all my customers, I say, I am the slowest contractor around here, but I'm not the cheapest and I'm not the fastest. And I don't get to work until about 9 o'clock every day. I am not coming over here at 7:30, 8 o'clock when you're still running around here in your nightgown. Just go on, get up, get ready. I'll be here at 9, 10 o'clock. I work a life of leisure. If it takes me twice the time to build a bathroom a month, if I got to. It's not your expectations. You expect so much out of yourself that you make yourself miserable. So set your expectations lower if need be and progress. Just do a little bit every day. But be happy, because you only live once. YOLO is big with me. You never touch this place again in life. So it's so
Hmm.
important to be genuine, love everybody around you, love what you're doing, and be grateful, and show people, be a light to people. I want people to look at me and say, man, I seen that guy a couple of years ago. He was rough as hell. He was, down here doing this, doing that. I seen his picture in the news, blah, 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 whatever. But now look at him. You know what I mean? That I'm not ashamed of my story.
Yeah, no,
um,
good. You shouldn't be, right? It's
and
that's who
it's
made you
brought
who
me
you
here.
are.
Yeah, and I love it. But we all have a story. Everybody out there watching, you have a story
Hmm.
too. You have a talent. Uh, just utilize it and be the best and honor it. I give all my glory to God for carrying me through all this, because I've done my share of sin, and my God, I still do every day. But the thing is I've had good people push me, like my grandpas. I got two good grandpas, great grandfather, a stepdaddy. They inspired me to be everything. I tell them all the time, y'all need to be proud, because it took a handful of y'all in a village to raise me and make me who I am. And they said, man, will you just get out here and you do this? You a beast out here doing this, that, third. I said, well, it took all y'all to make me like
Hmm.
this. And I am who I am. I'm proud of who I am. And I'm going to keep grinding, I'm going to stay grinding. That's my motto. And I never leave nobody behind. I always want to reach back and help other people. And these younger guys in the industry and these ladies in the industry, let's reach out and help them. Let's be positive.
For
Let's just
sure.
be happy. Let somebody make a story in a few years and say, hey, I looked across the plumbing trade, the electrical trade, the HVAC trade, and the tile trade, and I'm gonna tell you, all them tile guys and flooring guys, they more happier than anybody in the world when it comes to trade, and they network, they show more love. I found more love doing this, being a licensed plumber, irrigation contractor, being in hardscape and stuff like that. I never got no training on how to build these walls, these retaining walls, and these hardscape patios and stuff like I have received with large panel format porcelain and with Schluter and all
Hmm.
their, their
Hmm.
their trainings and stuff. Man, we work in a great industry.
We
I
do.
mean, I can't speak for the linoleum and LVT community and stuff like that. LVP. I mean, I know how to lay that stuff, but like I stay away from 'em, you know.
Hmm. I mean, I will.
And
I'll speak on his behalf. Look, everyone I've met throughout this industry is amazing. I have found if I've gone and I've looked for help, someone has come along and offered to help me out, lift me up, make me a better person, teach me a new skill. There are great people out there. If you're finding miserable people, it's because you're looking for miserable people to hang around with. You want this industry to be better, and this is again. I want to make sure I can get you out of here, so you're not late for your appointment. You're going to determine your destiny here. So stop looking for miserable people. Choose to hang out with people that better you, challenge you, want to make you a better person, and then continue to hang around them and go inspire others to do the same. Jeremy's not kidding. I want the young kids to look at the trades and decide that flooring, tile, stone is the place for them to be because of the way we act. A lot of the stuff I see online, very childish, very immature, absolutely absurd. We're not building each other up. We're cutting each other down. We're not being as
right,
helpful as we could. It's creating drama for no reason. And I get it. This is what happens when you put a bunch of boys inside of a sandbox. There's going to be a fight. I get it. The way the fight goes down doesn't need to be that way. So we all need to take a little more maturity, myself included. I'm not perfect. I get that. I have my own flaws. Call me out on them. Please do. I would appreciate it. And so we need to take these steps to not only have a better attitude so that we can build a better industry so that we can all be more successful. It'll put more money in your pocket, but it'll also put a lot more pride in your heart, and you will be so much more thankful for what you've been able to accomplish through your company, through your industry, through your teams, whatever it may come down to for you. If you work by yourself, the amount of lives you'll be able to impact through homeowners that know that the tile industry, the flooring industry are places they can trust contractors. It's all going to add up, and it's going to start with how you show up. You want an example?
exactly.
Jeremy's got an account. He's putting up videos all the time. Go follow this man and look at the content he's putting out, because it's going to put a smile on your face. It's going to make you happy. You're going to want to be around him. You're going to want to be like him. You're going to want to have that same attitude. It's contagious. You want to go hang around bitter people? You're going to continue to look at your glass half empty. You're going to continue to be bitter. You're going to continue to be miserable. And you're going to continue to have this industry that's marred by, they're hacks. They don't care. They're not reliable. Contractors suck. We're going to continue to have that stigma. Change it. You want a better one? Make it better. Because right now, most of you are sitting on the sidelines not doing anything. And that's the problem. You want to see change? What change are you creating? I saw that there wasn't a podcast. I saw that there wasn't. I typed flooring into the podcast app. It wasn't there. The show that came up was about the big deals that happened with Shaw and Mohawk and Armstrong. Well, previously Armstrong, but it was about like big time news. And I was like, that's not what I want. I was like, I want a show about business and being a flooring contractor. Didn't exist. I created it. Here it is, almost 4 years later, helping hundreds of people a month, thousands of people a month. Be the change you want to see. Go put out in the world what you want out of it. Jeremy's doing it. I'm doing it. I know others doing it. Stop sitting on the sidelines and waiting for somebody else to do it, because it's not going to happen. It's just not. Jeremy, you read books?
Very little.
Very little. You got a favorite book by chance?
I don't.
Okay. Hey, no worries.
I don't. It's been, for the past few years, it's been the TCNA handbook.
Hey, look, man, if you do tile, go get you one, okay?
Yeah,
it'll help you.
Everybody needs to. Join the NTCA. Get with John Mansfield. If I would have thought about it, I would have worn my Go Board hat. Get away from cement board, Get you some foam board. Don't be scared of that foam board.
You ain't got to be scared. Look, all the systems work. If you want to use cement board and you want to put waterproofing on it, you're just fine. It still works.
Right.
Do it right, okay? Right. Go get you a book. Go read up on the directions on how to do it. Do it right. Look, that NTCA is the tile Bible, right? So
yeah,
there ain't nothing wrong with that book. That's the good word of tile.
We love it. We love it. I'm so thankful for you having me on, Kyle.
You're very welcome. I've enjoyed you and your wife.
This has been a blast. Like, share, and follow everybody at Floor Academy. This has helped me a lot along the way. And like when Kyle said, what are you doing for the industry? Contribute to the industry. I want to contribute to the industry because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be Bathmatic forever. When I get older, I'm going to venture out and work for some manufacturers. I'll liable to be your rep one day. I'll liable to be an instructor. I've got my sights set on being an NTCA ambassador for my area. So let's continue to lift each other up and educate each other, and the young guys in the trade, the women in the trade. Let's band together and do better on the groups with helping people and less shenanigans. And,
I'm going to leave it there.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all like, share, check me out on Instagram, Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower, Facebook, Bathmatic Custom Tile and Shower. I'm on Google. If you feel like that I've made a positive impact in your life, go leave me a Google review and tell my customers, what they're getting. Like I said earlier, I'm leaving out here in a few minutes. I'm going to meet a new customer. I'm going to close this deal, because my business needs it right now, and I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to put that Bathmatic hat on and go over there and sell a shower. So y'all stay tuned, and thank you, Kyle.
You're welcome.
And that's all I got. And just remember to be a light this week. Impact somebody's life. See ya.
Look, that's beautiful. You can close out the show this week. That's all we got, folks. So thank you, Jeremy, for joining us. Check out flooracademypod.com. Go to the shop, pick up some gear, get a t-shirt, get a hat, get something. It helps me out. You can go to you can go to patreon.com Floor Academy. Even $5 a month goes a long way in helping the show. Again, $5 a month, 12 months a year, that's $60. If you can't find a way to get this show to provide you at least $600 a year, you're doing it wrong. Okay? Let's give back. I'll keep doing the show. You'll keep finding little nuggets that'll put $600 in your pocket. You're only giving me 60, and it'll be 10%, 5%, 2.5%, 1.25%. It'll become like no percent eventually. But help support the show, and then I'll keep doing what I do over here. And make sure to subscribe, leave a review. If you leave a review and it's 5 stars, I will read it on air. I'm not getting any, so I haven't read any in a couple episodes. So go leave me a 5-star review. Say what's awesome about the show. That also helps it show up in the feed to more people, because it helps me appear way bigger than I am. And if you want to take your business to the next level, go to flooracademypod.com/mastermind, or just go to Floor Academy Pod, click on the little mastermind tab. Learn about our mastermind groups. We take 5 business owners, throw them into a group. We get you with accountability. We get you business therapy, and we get you goal-oriented, moving in the right direction, building your business to be the successful machine that you want it to be. I've got a couple final words from our sponsor, Tice, and then we'll catch you next week. Hey listeners, it's nearing show season again, and I want to remind you that the International Surface event is returning to Las Vegas January 24th through 26th. Mark your calendars now, or you're not going. I know it. I know you're not, because I don't go. Jeremy's going to run out of here. He's got a jet. He's taking off the headphones, and he's out of here. He says, I'm out. I got to go. What do we got? Where was I in this thing? So mark your calendars, because otherwise you're not going. If you're a listener, when registration opens in September, you're going to go, you're going to register, you're going to put in my name, you're going to put KYLE, Kyle, 4 letters. There's no reason not to remember it. You get that free exhibition pass to be able to go to Tice. Whether you're an installer, retailer, distributor, or serve in another capacity within our industry, it's an amazing place to network and gain knowledge. You can also learn about the newest industry-leading products coming to market. Stay up to date with the latest news with the Surfaces event page on Facebook, or visit intlsurfaceevent.com. I will see you all there in January. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you again, Jeremy, for joining us. Good luck on your bid.
Thank you.
And we will catch you next week.